gonna dive in and give this Daryl Dixon spinoff a try. And so far, I'm in. I am all in. The only knock that I have, and I don't think it's negative. I just think I wouldn't say it's negative, but it is something we've seen before, especially pretty recently. This really is kind of like, so far, at least to me, like it's like The Last of Us, the Walking Dead version of The Last of Us. Like it literally took a page out of The Last of Us when you see how this is set up.
He copied my whole flow!
Hey, what's going on, folks? Another episode of Ryan Reviews Everything, and we are here talking about the first, I know I'm a little bit late, but the first episode of one of Walking Dead's favorite characters, Daryl Dixon. He is finally here with his own spinoff, and I'm here for it. Just a brief history of my experience when it comes to The Walking Dead. I was all in. It used to be must-see TV for me. I was all in until, for some weird reason, the crew started to work with Negan instead of actually killing Negan. Granted, I'm sure it was some type of moral high ground where they felt like he could be more useful to them alive than dead. But let me just say this, especially to my wife. If for whatever reason we're in like a post-apocalyptic world or whatever, and the person, you got a chance to take out the person who took me out, I'm gonna usually take that person out. Like, no need to save them. So I was kind of turned off of it since then. But, I found out about the Daryl Dixon spinoff finally been here. So you know what? I'm going to dive in and give this Daryl Dixon spinoff a try. And so far, I'm in. I am all in. So I will say the only thing that I know about the series finale, and I'm sure people can correct me if I'm wrong, it appears as if Daryl Dixon was out to go searching for something else, or maybe even Rick Grimes, I believe. Well, he might be searching for Rick Grimes, but anyway, he had to go search for something. Ends up getting with the wrong crew. Next thing you know, he is found, washed upon shore, in the south of France. And then that's where our spinoff takes place. And this is fairly quickly establishes, who are going to be Daryl's allies, who are the clear enemies or antagonists, and who are the people that need protecting. So yeah, I'm definitely all in with this. The only knock that I have, and I don't think it's negative. I just think I wouldn't say it's negative, but it is something we've seen before, especially pretty recently. This really is kind of like, so far, at least to me, like it's like The Last of Us, the Walking Dead version of The Last of Us. Like it literally took a page out of The Last of Us when you see how this is set up.
He copied my whole flow, word for word, bar for bar.
So yeah, just like Soulja Boy said, you see how this is set up, very similar to The Last of Us. I think the only difference is it appears that Laurent, the boy who needs protecting, won't be sacrificed or, intended to be sacrificed upon, like Abby was supposed to be sacrificed in The Last of Us. That seems to be the only difference I could see so far. But yeah, and also this is like yet another reason why we see things just get so topsy-turvy or so different since the zombie apocalypse came. One, some of the new things that I didn't expect. At least in France, we have zombies who can infect you just by touching you now. I think they're called burners. And if you saw this, spoiler alert, we see when when Daryl is kind of saved by the convent by the sister Isabel, or nun Isabel. She notices the burn on his arm and immediately goes to, try to heal the burn. And then she explains to Daryl, hey, this needs to be done because otherwise you could turn into a zombie. So we definitely have burner zombies in this one where, once again, you could risk infection just by the touch. And in addition to that, we have nuns who can really fight. We have nuns who don't mind fighting. They got weapons. You know, things ain't 100% peaceful when it comes to nuns. Granted, it's not like they're out here looking for trouble, but clearly they have some weaponry to defend themselves, and we see this in this episode as well. And as I said earlier, these clear allies or clear antagonists, pardon me. And we definitely see that with, I believe in this show they're called guerreros or something of that nature. Long story short, they look like they're either some type of mercenary group or militias, one of those. And they clearly have beef with Daryl after, they learned fairly early in this episode that Daryl not only took out some of these militia guys out, but he killed the leader's brother. So of course that's always bad news, right? So once again, I am here for it. I think it's a great show. I'm gonna try to. I think this, at least from episode 1, it definitely is bringing me back into the fold of rocker with it. Once again, Daryl. I'm sure I'm not the only one. It's definitely one of the fan favorites, and I'm glad he's finally getting this spinoff. Hopefully, it doesn't come a time to where the leader of this missionary. Hopefully, it's not a point where the leader of this mercenary group and Daryl somehow become allies. I don't want to see another Negan story. That's just me. But other than that, man, go check it out. That's my review. Love it or hate it. Peace.